And a popular ferry in Newport Beach may have to stop operations because of a state regulation. The Balboa Island Ferry in Newport.
The California Air Resources Board has told the owner, Seymour B., that by December 31st, 2024, it's 18 months away, if he doesn't have new technology batteries to power his ferries, then he has to shut down. I mean, this could happen in 18 months.
Wouldn't it be perfect if it were an electric ferry or something? There are all sorts of great reasons for saving the ferry. I care about these things. I really care about air pollution. I care about greenhouse emissions, gas emissions, and that sort of thing.
I think the main obstacle when you get into specialized equipment is there's two things really. One is industry really hasn't caught up yet to the needs of what is required to comply with the mandate. The parts just don't exist yet in the industry. Everything has to be customized, which increases the cost. And then for something like this, just to replace the mechanics with batteries, the weight differential is going to go up. You're going to have a heavier vehicle, which means you can take less people or less cars on the ferry for each trip if you're going to use the same vehicles. And then that reduces the efficiency of the operation, obviously. The other thing with a vehicle like this is that it's running continuously. And so there's not a downtime really to charge it. And so what we found in situations like this, or for fleet vehicles in your neighborhood that work for your cities, is that initially you would almost have to double your fleet or double the number of vehicles you have to operate, because half of them would have to be charging at one time while the other half are in operation. And so a further efficiency, further cost increase, simply because the batteries have not caught up from a technology standpoint to be able to run for longer durations.
I believe that having the ferry here is going to reduce the environmental impact compared to having hundreds of car trips per day, possibly driving all the way an extra 20 miles down the peninsula.
When I got involved in the city, it's been on environmental issues. I have been on the ferry at least several times when all of a sudden a sea lion will swim by and you say to the kids, look. And the thrill, I mean, it's wonderful to see it in a zoo or an aquarium, but to see it right there. I mean, it is so exciting for them.
I'm a civil engineer, been in the infrastructure industry for more than 20 years in multiple states across the country. Ferries, I think, are critical operations. People think about vehicles, but if you look at the ferries in the summer, they're more heavily utilized by bikes and pedestrians.
I can't imagine a world without the Balboa Island Ferry. I mean, for my constituents and for the residents of Newport Beach that live on the peninsula, you're talking about a 6-mile journey to go around to make it back to this point. For an opportunity with a ferry that uses a half a gallon of diesel fuel every hour, I mean, it just doesn't seem right to me to do anything to disrupt this quality of life for our residents and for our visitors and all those tourists and people that come down want to enjoy what the island has to offer and also connect to the peninsula. I mean, what an institutional monument that we have that really helps quality of life for our residents here in Newport Beach. Please join me and all of our residents and visitors in supporting the Balboa Island Ferry and doing all we can with the state of California to either exempt it completely, since we do believe here that it's a historical figure in Newport Beach, or at least put on extension for at least a decade. The technology is not there yet, and the visitors and the residents of Newport Beach want to continue to use the ferry for generations to come.